Well, shit, here we are, Nora comments happily. Is it just me, guys, or was this mission way easier than the last one? The rest of us trudge out of the forest behind her, looking up gratefully at the distant but finally visible walls of Skyhope. We'd made it to the ring of cleared land around the city, which more or less marks the successful end of our mission. We did well. Bentley agrees excitedly. Everyone is doing much better now. I'm feeling a bit outpaced, Orville complains. You're all figuring out your talents. Vita has 2 now, both of which are fucking insane, and I'm pretty much the same as always. Don't worry, Orville. Bentley answers. You'll get strong, too. You already are. Whatever, Orville grumbles. We were just carried by Penelope and Vita again. I'm too tired to shoot him a sympathetic look, and I'm not sure I could muster a proper one regardless. We got sent out to go scout and destroy Nora in the forest almost immediately on getting back, and I'm still freshly reeling from the aftermath of Lytia. On returning, I'd only had a couple hours to rush home and talk to my family, but Rowan and Lynn hadn't been there. Another 10 days later, and we're finally getting back to the city for a more reasonable amount of time. I'm exhausted, albeit more emotionally than physically. A fresh supply of souls has kept me up and moving where I otherwise might not be. Fed up with holding back and suspected of heresy by the Templars anyway, I told my team about my second talent, the Death Touch, which has since evolved into a Death Aura. Walking into small groups of monsters, I can just send tentacles into them if they're close enough, soul ripping them all at once. My tendril range is only about 3 feet so far, but they're slowly growing longer as I eat more and more. The ability makes many otherwise dangerous pack-hunting creatures trivial, and since we weren't going very deep into the forest, those kinds of creatures tended to reign supreme. With my recent hatching and impressively robust diet, the whole trip turned out to be quite the buffet. If not for how badly I've been itching to go home the whole time, it would have been kind of nice. I mean, we did our part, Orville, but you're not entirely wrong, Nora says. Seriously, Vita, what kind of magic push-ups have you been doing, girl? I have never seen a talent as crazy as that. I shrug. I'm sure there are hunters and Templars with stronger stuff. There are, Penelope confirms. We did just go on a trip with Gladra the Annihilator, after all. The other High Templars are comparable to her. What's she like, anyway? Orville asks, perking up a bit. Gladra is a legend. The strongest talentless mage. Well, I guess I can see why he'd be fond of her, but... She's awful, I answer flatly. She pretty much spent the trip harassing me for fun, and she almost choked me to death once. Yes, she's clever, but I got the distinct impression that she's mentally unstable, Penelope answers. She kept deferring to a Templar squad leader that she should have technically outranked. Perhaps the clergy are aware and assigned her a handler. Oh, Orville grumbles, his mood dropping even lower than before. Figures. Apparently she got super strong by channeling mana constantly, even when she isn't casting a spell, I comment. What? How is she even alive? One must take and Watcher's eyes, that's fucking insane. Yes, case in point, Penelope answers blandly. I shudder a little. Watcher's eyes. I get why that's such a common swear, now. I roll my own eye around in my body, for no other reason than to enjoy the idle movement. We had a successful mission, all in all. While it's impossible to know if we've cleared the forest of Nora entirely, we did find and subsequently kill a significant number of them, which will doubtlessly please the people in charge. While I ate the feral ones we just caught, every Nora from Lytia Bara Muslime is still stored safely inside my body, plus the human soul of Theodora. Penelope was firm on the point that I should keep her soul safe. Apparently she still has things she wants to ask the woman. Since she now gets to ask them without worrying whether or not Theodora will be inclined to answer, I get the impression that she's not super torn up about Theodora's death. Whatever, I'm not either. I just care that I caused it. People die, but I don't like being the one to kill them if they don't deserve it. I'm still furious at myself about it. Hopefully she won't mind being a revenant too much. Not that she'll have a choice, I guess. Soon enough we're back at the gate, where a biomancer is now stationed to scan every single person to enter. It would probably be a pain if there were any significant number of people trying to enter the city, but travel tends to be limited and they have more biomancers on duty when farmers are lining up to import their wares. Penelope seems mildly offended to be subjected to the scan, as she's apparently modified her body to be permanently inhospitable to Nora. Or so she claims, anyway. Is it alright if I break off here? I asked my team. I need to go home. Or, you're such a good daughter, Vita. Nora coos. I wouldn't mind helping you carry stuff, if you want, Orville offers. I have nowhere to be. I need to resume your family's treatments, Penelope comments idly. It's unfortunate we've been away so much. Well, I mean, if we're making a thing about it, I do kinda want to meet your family, Nora says awkwardly, scratching her cheek. Ooh, can I come? Bentley begs. I look up at everyone, a slightly annoyed expression on my face. I've been looking forward to some time to myself and my de facto parents or older siblings or whatever Lynn and Rowan are to me. Family, somehow, or at least the closest to family that I can understand. Still, though, I'm not one to waste opportunities. You can only come if you help buy food, I tell them. I'm giving your family free magical health care, Penelope reminds me, smiling wryly. You're also the richest person here by several orders of magnitude, I answer, merciless. Pay up. Everyone agrees, to my surprise, but apparently I shouldn't be that shocked. Normal people buy food for each other all the time, I'm told. Sounds like a wacky practice to me, but I'm happy to take advantage of it. My team even buys food around the gate, which is all massively overpriced but admittedly very tasty. Not that the kids will care, food is food. I buy from a more reasonable stall deeper into my part of the city. As we get to poorer and poorer districts, Bentley starts giving away more and more of the food he bought, to my increasing irritation. I'm not opposed to charity in general. It's how I survived a significant portion of my life, after all. That food is supposed to be for my family, though. Yet the poor guy looks so horrified at the state of the bad part of town, I leave him be. Then some moronic kid tries to steal something from Bentley's pockets, though, and I just about lose it. Are you fucking stupid? I growl, snatching the girl's wrist. If you steal from the people giving things away, they won't come back. Nobody comes back anyway, the tangle-haired brat hisses through missing teeth. She can't be more than 8 years old, being a head shorter than even me. The girl's blonde hair is closer to brown from all the dirt in it, and she glares up at me with the kind of piercing, cynical eyes I know all too well. I snatch the stolen money from her hand, glaring right back at her. I come back, I snap. And if you don't learn to pick your targets better, you'll be lucky if the next heavily armed hunter team you steal from stops after breaking your fingers. Scowling, she pulls her hand away, rubbing her wrist. Bentley gives her some food anyway, and she runs off. Don't you think that was a little harsh, Vita? Nora asks, her voice a mix of shock and concern. I've seen people die stealing from the wrong person. I was almost one of them. I hope that was harsh enough. You could maybe encourage her to not be a thief? Orville posits. And do what instead? I ask, exasperated. You want to adopt her, Orville? Come on, let's go. If we try to help everyone in the city we'll die of old age. I stomp off, feeling a lot more angry than I know I should be. The others follow in silence, letting me stew. It's obvious that I've been a bundle of stress and nerves since Lydia, but I haven't told the others why. Maybe Penelope has, but even if she did or if I told them myself, I'd still have to leave out the most important part. The part I can't get over. The part where Pentu is dead because of me. She's right here, hidden inside, and yet I can't talk to her. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. I fucked up bad so Penelope killed her and I can't even be fucking mad at her about it because she fucking saved my life. I'm the only person I can blame. It isn't long before the shack comes into view, and while a few people, likely informants for the Drockens, peek at us as we pass through the alleyways, we aren't accosted further in any way worth mentioning. The slab of wood that passes for our door is shut, the kids perhaps wisely deciding to act as though no one is home as 5 heavily armed and armored people approach them. Soon, though. Vita. A tide of children rushes out of the shack, forcing me to drop to my knees or risk getting bowled over. The youngest ones hit first, swarming me with hugs. Holy shit, but they look so much healthier. It's obvious that they've made good use of the money I left them. They still look starved, honestly. Cheeks hollow, bodies frail, it's much the same sight I'm used to seeing. But because I'm so used to it, the improvements are striking to me. Just a bit more flesh where I'd expect bone, just a smidgen more color where I'd expect ashy skin. It's no question why they're so happy to see me. At this point, I'm a better supplier for them than Lin is. Considering that the only reason Lin hasn't stolen them the whole island already is the Drockens, I suspect that damn gang isn't too happy with me. That's a problem that will be heading my way soon enough. Not yet, though. Not right now. Right now, I have something more important on my mind. Vita, Lin says, exiting the shack after the wave of kids. Hey Mom, I answer, grinning up at her. She blushes lightly, turning away and giving me a sideways look. And now you quit that, Vita. Is this your whole hunter team? Yup, I answer, nodding. You know Orville and Penelope already. That's Bentley, and that's Nora. Bentley waves, already having made fast friends with one of the kids thanks to gifts of food and a heaping helping of his hearty Bentley-ness. Nora nods at Lin, still taking in the scene. It's funny to me how out of sorts people look around my home. It must be like how I feel around the richer districts. A pleasure to meet you, Mom, Nora says politely, nodding. Lin dramatically grunts a pained noise, twitching like she's been struck. No mom stuff. Please. I'm only 23. Nora says, looking around at the 12 children. They're adopted. Lin insists, then realizes her mistake. No wait, shit. I mean I'm not their mum. I just take care of them. I can't help but laugh. The food that had been in my arms is long gone now, exposing the real reason so many of my siblings, and I guess that's really what they are, had been in such a rush to hug me. I give firm instructions to my team to not let the kids eat too much so they can spread the meals over a few days. Then I break off, approaching the shack and my mum. It's great to see you again, she says with a smile, pulling me in for a hug. You been doing okay? I swallow, feeling tears form unbidden and doing my best to hold them in. I've been better, I whisper. Is Rowan around? No, she answers. One or both of us is pretty much always with the Drockens, even at night. Things have been getting better, thanks to you, but we're being run ragged. I don't think it's spite on their part, though. I think they're just gearing up for something big. I nod, letting her slowly lead me to the hatch downstairs. We jump down and immediately she's holding me again, somehow knowing I've been starved for the contact. Carefully, I reach my tendrils through her belly, lightly wrapping her beautiful, warm soul that glows like the sky. Immediately she jerks, back arching and body shuddering. Ah! She yelps. Is that you? I retract immediately, startled by the reaction despite myself. I suppose Penta acted like that the first time, too. Why yes. Sorry. Is it weird? I'm just, sorry. It feels like my own fear of mortality just grew arms and started to hold me, Lin remarks with a dumbfounded expression. Kinda nice other than the constant panic-inducing heart attack. What the heck did you do? I hugged your soul, I answer. With my, tentacles. There's a beach of silence. With your what? My tentacles, I repeat, demonstrating by grabbing and twirling my hair around them. I have, invisible tentacles coming out of my soul. Of course you do. Lin says, her voice excessively pleasant as she stares at my head. Well, that's certainly a thing. But may I just say what the fuck? I grew them when I hatched from my egg, I explain. My, soul egg, I guess. The Mist Watcher looked at me and broke my shell. I have a soul eye too. It's neat. There's another long pause, and eventually Lin just pulls me back in for another hug. I hug her back, just using my arms this time, and squeeze her as hard as I can. Oh, honey, she says softly, holding me close. Is this what has you so out of sorts? I swallow. No. The soul stuff is fine. What is it, then? She presses softly. What happened? The tears start to come back. I give up on holding them in this time, with just Lin and I here. I have plenty of clean water now, so it's not a waste. Here, alone together, it's okay. Penta's dead, I answer, my breath starting to come out in gasps. Penelope had to kill her because I did something stupid. I don't know what to do. I have my friend's soul, Lin. But you saw Grig. You remember him? He was different. I don't know if Penta would be different. And if she will be. don't know if I want her to be. I break into sobs, squeezing my mom tight. The fact that she's dead, the fact that I'm the one who got her killed. Those things hurt me. I hate them, regret them, and wish they weren't true. Yet what has really been ripping me apart inside is that I can bring her back. I can bring her back anytime I want, but it just doesn't feel right to do it. I know it would be wrong, I sob. She'll be different if I bring her back. I don't want her to be like Greg. But it's either that or I don't get her for a long, long time. Or maybe even at all. Lynn is silent for a while, holding me close and letting me cry into her chest. I can't even imagine what that's like, she answers eventually, her eyes distant. To be able to bring someone back from the dead, but to bind and change them like you do. It's a heavy power, Vita. Strong, useful, and frightening. There are ways I've wanted you to use it for us, you know. I turn my face up, puffy eyes staring at her. Like what? It doesn't matter, she dismisses softly. You're doing more than enough as it is. I would much rather you be safe than give us a single thing more. But what was it you said about maybe getting your friend back after a long time? I sniff up some snot, trying not to get any more of it on Lynn's clothes. It was just a thought Penta and I had before she died, I say. My talent makes people weird and creepy, but if I learn real animancy, I could maybe change it so it brings them back normal. Even if, you know, still dead. And we thought maybe it might be possible to make a living person, if I was really good. Lynn's eyes go wide as she chews on that thought. Well, your friend's soul isn't going anywhere in the meantime, right? You're keeping her safe? I nod. I think so. Well then don't think of her as dead at all, Lynn answers. You're just apart for now. It happens. Sometimes we don't get to see people we love for a long, long time, but that doesn't mean we care about them any less. If there's a way, Vita, you can work to find it. Your instincts are right, it's okay to wait. Listen to your gut on it, kiddo. That, I don't know about. If I'd listened to my gut she'd have been eaten long ago. Still, I feel a lot better just being here, talking with her about it. Thanks, Lynn, I choke out. Can I hug your soul again? Lynn tenses a little, then sighs the kind of exasperated sigh reserved exclusively for mothers. Yeah, Vita, she answers. Gimme a good soul snuggle. I gratefully oblige, making sure not to squeeze too hard. I can't let my hunger get the best of me. Lynn and I exit the lower room to find my team getting along with the kids. Bentley and Nora race each other while giving piggyback rides. Orville patiently allows two of the girls to braid his white hair, which he's been growing out recently. Penelope is doing her healing work, stoically treating one of the little ones while delightful chaos unfolds around her. One of said little ones immediately struts up to me and kicks me hard in the shin. Ow! What the fuck? I snap. Before I'm even done talking, though, she buries her head in my belly, arms squeezing tightly around my waist. Gone too long, she mumbles. I snort out a sigh, annoyance leaving as I hug her back. Well, I can't say I disagree, I answer. It's good to be back. You eat enough while I was gone? She nods. Orville got us lots of food before he left too, she answers. Did he? I raise an eyebrow his way, but he just shrugs. Well damn, I owe him now. I pick the little one up and go rushing after Bentley and Nora. With her on my shoulders, we're almost as tall as them. Tendrils pulsing in and around my legs, it's time to see if I can actually beat our two martial experts with this new power. My little sister whoops and cheers as I run after my team, although to my annoyance they both slow down and simply let me catch up. Uh-oh, Nora coos, tickling her passenger's feet. Looks like we have a new racer. She'd picked up the youngest one of the kids, or at least who I assume to be the youngest since he's so small. I've never really asked. He giggles and cheers, though, which puts a smile on my face. So then, we have a new team. Bentley announces. Vita and. I glance up at the kid on my shoulders. What was her name, again? Angelica? I hedge. Angeline. She corrects angrily, drumming my head in protest. I'm Angeline. Yeah, that. Vita and Angeline, reporting, I say, saluting blandly. Nora and Bentley both give me a weird look. What? I demand. This is your family, right? Nora questions. Like, you lived here? Yeah, I guess so, I answer hesitantly. Vita never talks to anybody. Angeline complains. She never listens either. I scowl, not really refuting it. Nora and Bentley share a concerned glance, but to my relief we just return to the races. The two of them chat with the kids as we run, their overly excited voices laced with a condescending tone that the kids lap up. I guess when you're actually a kid, it doesn't hurt to be treated like one. I manage to win a few races, but that happens less and less as I tire until eventually I can't even come close to them. Nora's endurance far outstrips mine, and as far as I can tell Bentley never gets tired. His soul feels weird. Like there must be more to his talent that I don't understand. It's not really my mystery to solve, though, and I wouldn't know how to go about trying anyway. Vita, Penelope interrupts tiredly, approaching us with a sweat-drenched face. Your turn now. Oh, all right, I answer, removing the current child from my shoulders. Jared, I think? Maybe Jari? One of those two. Thanks again for doing this, Penelope. Of course, she breathes. It's good practice for me anyway. Now come on, I need you to lie down. I do as instructed, trying to shift so that lying on my belly won't be horribly uncomfortable. Times like this I can't help but be really glad to have met you, I comment idly. But then there are other times you're just this conniving bitch and I want to rip your throat out. It's hard to get a read on you. Penelope sighs, and from the way her soul sings a clockwork beat I can feel she's measuring her response carefully. You're still mad about Lytia, aren't you? The biomancer eventually asks. Yeah, I confirm. I know you were doing it to save me, but I still can't forgive you for it. Maybe that's dumb, but it's how it is. What exactly did you do to the two slimes that possessed you against your will, again? Penelope responds coldly. If anyone had a right to kill that creature, it was me. You know that. Besides, it was going to be found one way or another anyway. How would you even get back into Skyhope? I nod a little, scowling. I feel a little better after talking with Lynn about it, but I can't help but be frustrated. Well again, thanks for treating everyone. She murmurs. Speaking of treating, I need to treat you to another spa day today. We're introducing you to First Lord Erebus and you have to look your best. I raise an eyebrow. That's your fiancé, right? The guy that basically owns me, now? More or less, yes, she answers. We've caused a lot of trouble for the house, so I'll need to reassure him that you're worth it. Which means you need to make a good impression. Well, as you well know, I have a long history of making great impressions on nobles, I answer blandly. Yes, well, that is why I will be helping you prepare this time. I nod again, settling into the long treatment. It isn't particularly comfortable getting biomancy shoved into my body, but at this point I'm used to it. Penelope was doing it the entire trip to Lytia and back, after all. There's not much else I want to say to her that's safe to say in public, so I don't. I while away the time practicing cancel commands, wishing someone in my head could correct my mistakes for me. Eventually, Penelope finishes. I get up off my increasingly sore chest to stretch, rejoining my team and ignoring the protests of the kids wanting them all to stay. I'm happy to let my team stick around if they want, and Orville apparently made the journey here a number of times alone without getting mugged, so they should be fine without me. Yet with my mom hugged, the treatments done, and the food given, I have nothing else I need to do here. The others seem to want to follow me, and that's fine too. The five of us head out, and as soon as we're alone, Nora turns my way. Vita, what the actual fuck? You're gonna have to be more specific, I tell her blandly. I can't believe the people here look that sick, Bentley whispers. I can't believe you don't know your goddamn family's names, Nora exclaims. Lynn and Rowan are my family, I counter. The kids are. I dunno, they're family now. But for the past year they were just bits of bread not going to my mouth, okay? Lynn and Rowan were my friends and kind of my family, but the kids weren't. They were Lynn and Rowan's, not mine. Nora gives me a searching look, her face pensive. Even if you didn't love them, you don't think it's weird that you don't know their names? It's not like I ever had to get their attention. They knew better than to steal from me, so we left each other alone. But you care about them, Bentley insists. If you care about someone, you should at least know their name. I'm new to the luxury of caring about them, okay? I grumble. Sorry. I guess I'm just not that empathetic. If you weren't empathetic, you wouldn't be helping them at all, Orville points out. I shrug, not arguing the point. I still don't know what Penta really meant by that. She never pushed it a second time. Well, as shitty as a sister as I may be, thanks for coming everybody. They seemed happy. Yeah, no problem, Vita. It was fun. Nora gives me a reassuring smile, though whether it's reassuring me or herself, I don't know. Kinda reminded me of home. You mean the one you have now or the one where everybody died? I ask. Orville, Bentley, and Nora all wince at the same time. I look around in confusion. Did I miss something? The one where everybody died, Vita, Nora manages to get out. Oh, okay. I pause. There's probably something else I should say, right? You can show me your current home sometime if you want. You know, since you've seen mine. Sure, it's a date, Nora answers. I wrinkle my nose. I didn't mean it like that. Everyone else bursts into laughter. Even Penelope. Hey. What's so funny? Nothing, never mind, Nora chokes out between laughs. It's just an expression, Vita. I wasn't asking you out. Like, you know, regardless of your actual age. You look way too young. I don't want to date anyone anyway, so that's fine by me, I grumble. Really? Nobody? Nora presses. Is there nobody you find attractive? I didn't say I don't find people attractive, I said I don't want to date anyone. It's annoying. Heck, the last guy I thought was hot almost cut my head off. I have to admit, Templar Dazzle's face was quite professionally done, Penelope agrees. Into men, huh? Nora grins impishly. How do Bentley and Orville stack up? Hey. Orville protests. Bentley's hotter than Orville, I answer immediately. They're both pretty middle of the road, though. Hey. More laughter erupts, mostly from Penelope and Nora. I smile a little, not totally getting it but glad people seem so amused. As weird as they are, they're my team. And since they're mine, they matter. Well, as fun as this is, Penelope starts, her chuckles fading away. Vita and I need to go take care of a few things. Ooh, you two off to do secret stuff without us? Nora taunts. Yeah, pretty much, I answer bluntly. It's nothing too fancy, Penelope insists. I just owe her for getting that damn slime out of my head. Wait, I thought you said I owe you for, ow? Penelope kicks me in the shin, which hurts like heck. I hop on one foot as I rub on the spot to ease my pain. I don't know why I bother trying to be subtle around you, she grumbles. Now they're going to be curious and bother us incessantly. No, it's fine. We'll leave you alone. Orville backpedals. Right, Nora? Yeah, okay, Nora agrees. The inner smugness radiating off of Penelope indicates that's the response she's been fishing for, but outwardly she remains prickly. Please see that you do, she demands. Now then, shall we, Vita? We head out, and at first I wonder why Penelope isn't having us change clothes. Soon I realize, however, that she plans to buy us new ones. My protests fall on deaf ears as people I've never met before touch me all over, grabbing measurements and rushing to fulfill Penelope's orders. I jab a tailor in the sole when she gets too touchy, causing them to let out a yelp of surprise and jump backwards. Which in turn makes Penelope chastise their professionalism. We don't get the clothes right then and there, apparently mine have to be made from scratch. So soon enough my ratty ass is back in the rich district, feeling increasingly uncomfortable, what with my blood-covered hunter get-up. At least Penelope is similarly dressed, if not similarly bloody. I don't know how she kept so clean after tromping through the forest, but she did. Fucking mages. Goodness, Lady Vesuvius. The woman behind the counter gasps when we finally make it to the bathhouse. Your friend looks like she got into quite the mess again. Yes, hanging around outside the walls will do that to a woman. Dreadful place. I'd like a private room this time, if you would. There should be an outfit order in my name coming as well, so please have that ready for us when it arrives. Of course, Lady Vesuvius, the receptionist answers, bowing her head. It's so fucking weird that you can make people act like that, I comment. That's how you should be acting. She snaps. Besides, You're hardly one to talk about employing disturbing help. Hey. That's unfair. Life's not fair. Now come on. Soon enough we've stripped, rinsed, and gotten into a lusciously warm tub. I let out a sigh of pleasure, my body and soul drooping as the relaxing waters flow over us. I reach tendrils up to comb through my hair, savoring the feeling of pulling my long, ratty nest into a more comfortable arrangement. Penelope raises an eyebrow at the sight, casting some kind of spell before speaking. Well, the chinemancy protections seem solid here, so we should be safe to talk. Therefore, I must ask, what exactly are you doing? Is that kineticism? Don't tell me you've actually become dual-talented. Huh? Oh. No, my soul just has tentacles now. Ask, could you elaborate, perchance? Boop, I respond, poking her in the soul. The bottom part, of course, since it's so adorably squishy. She doesn't move, but I feel her almost put a plague on me. What was that? Tentacle, I repeat. Didn't I just say that? When the Mistwatcher looked at me, my egg hatched and now I am an eyeball with tentacles. It's neat. Now I am kinda wondering if I'm related to the big guy. What, like a demigod? She asks sarcastically, rubbing her belly over where her soul rests. As amusing as that would be, I somehow doubt it. Still, that is what rose the range on your abilities? You are very strange, Vita. I've never heard of a talent anything like yours. I puff up happily. Yeah, well, I guess I am pretty cool, huh? Penelope snorts. Anyway, you say the Mistwatcher did look at you? I imagine you're sure because it caused your hatching. Obviously, from now on, that did not happen. You were mistaken. Any time you are ever asked that, henceforth, you will say nothing else. To do otherwise will likely result in your death. I nod, slowly. Okay. Geez, I can't believe I'm double illegal now. I guess it doesn't really get any worse though. Don't say that, Penelope groans. It can always get worse. Speaking of, Johann, whom to you is exclusively Lord Erebus, or First Lord Erebus if you wish to really lay it on thick, needs to agree to my decision to make you part of his house. Which means we must convince him that you are worth angering Templars for. Without revealing to him that you're an animancer. Don't trust your future husband, huh? He may be my fiancé, but I have no intention of having him as my future husband, she answers immediately. I'm not sure if he'd turn you in or decide to use you, and I'm also not sure which would be worse. I mean, I'm sure which would be worse. Penelope snorts. I flick some water at her, which she ignores. In any case, we're going to claim that you're a natural metamancer, and that I need your assistance to continue my immortality research. Wait, you're doing immortality research? Of course I am. Never mind that immortality would utterly tear apart our entire system of government, it's more or less what I'm forced to research by every noble that has the ability to sway me. And, truth be told, cracking it would without question cause me to be declared a true lady myself, so I admit that somewhat factors into my motivations. Well okay. So all that brain stuff she does is her trying to figure out how to live forever. I don't know how the two things are related, but presumably the biomancer does. So, why am I pretending to be a metamancer? 2 reasons. 1, it's the best way to disguise your death touch. When you kill something with it, the cause of death appears to be mana backlash, of all things. It's the kind of death you'd see from a mage that bit off more than they could chew and failed to cancel their spell in time. There are metamancy spells with similar effects, though none as effective as yours that I know of. And the second reason? I ask, poking at my belly with my soul to watch the skin seem to move of its own accord. Because you are a metamancer, for all intents and purposes. A rather genius one. The woman leans close to me, a manic grin swallowing her face. You have Theodora's soul, yes? And I have taken care of her body. We need only a safe place to put her, and that genius is all ours. I nod, a smile of my own twitching at my lips without prompting. 2 Theodoras, actually, I correct softly. The Nora would know everything she knew. You saved that soul too? She asks, leaning back again. Well, all the better. It won't be hard to hide 2 revenants when we've hidden the first. Funnily enough, Theodora taught me how. I'll prepare the basics and she can finish them herself. Are you bringing back Pentu as well? I think. No, I answer, frowning. She's my friend. I would feel bad controlling her. Penelope rolls her eyes. Isn't that an irony? Well, suit yourself. If things go as planned, we'll both be getting all the power and knowledge we can spare. I can't help but laugh at that, using my tentacles to massage my sore legs. And about how likely do you think it is that things will go to plan? Penelope shrugs. Well, isn't that the question? They do say no plan survives contact with the enemy, so we may have to improvise at some point. But beyond that, what do you think? I raise an eyebrow, smirking at her. Wait, do I even get a say in it? Yes, she answers simply. Of course you do. I may have a sword hanging over your neck, but I'd prefer you cooperate in spite of that, not because of it. You have many things I want, and I believe I have many things you want. This need not be a relationship of debt or spite. I frown, thinking on that. There is one thing I want that's been bothering me, I say. Oh? Do tell. Well, I've mentioned this offhand a few times before, but I'll come out and say it. Your soul sings your true emotions. It's kinda scary how good you are at hiding them, but I can tell when you're faking. Which is pretty annoying, since you're faking almost all the time. Weren't you the one that got on my case about that back when we first met? It's gonna be hard to like you if you keep saying things that aren't what you mean. She's genuinely taken aback for a moment, flashes of surprise and irritation jolting through her melody. Most prominently, though, her soul is afraid. I think it is going to be even harder for you to like me if I do say what I'm really feeling, Vita, she answers slowly. Well, I counter, let's give it a shot anyway, 'cause this ain't working. A long pause stretches between us, her emotions twisting around in a chaotic tune I can barely follow. Dozens of potential answers pass through her mind, all of which she rejects. Which kind of defeats the point, of course, but I can accept that it's likely a hard habit to break. During our biomancy sessions I have been secretly manipulating your body so that you develop into someone more conventionally attractive when you're older, she eventually admits. I blink. What?